Welcome back to the CGC channel. Haven't talked to you guys in a while, but seeing as how the big gaming event of the summer has just passed us, I figure I put my 2 cents in. I wanted to sit back and think about how I felt about what I saw this past weekend, instead of putting out a knee-jerk reaction video on my channel, which is what a lot of content creators do. Mind you, I understand for them it is a livelihood, it is a business, but for me this is a hobby, this is fun. I don't want to turn it into anything other than that for a myriad of reasons, mostly because I don't have the time to right now, and because I don't want my joy for gaming to be sapped away by getting involved with all of the nonsense that comes with being a content creator and having to deal with, some of the more volatile sectors of gaming in general. All of that aside, no one really cares about why I'm doing this. You want to hear how I felt or how I feel about what I saw. I've watched the showcases, each probably about at least once, but some of them I watched 2 or 3 times, in particular the Xbox one, the Ubisoft one. The Keighley one I could only deal with like once and a half. I got halfway through the second time, just couldn't stomach it anymore. It was a lot of cheese on that burger, so to speak. And I think unanimously everyone on the internet agrees that the Xbox showcase was indeed the capstone, the coup de grace of the weekend. They did a tremendous job, far better than they've done probably ever in their history as a gaming company and putting on gaming shows. I think that's the best show they've ever put on. It's probably one of the best gaming showcases ever, period. That could be a little bit much of a glaze, if you will, but I think honestly, based on fulfilling the wants of player bases and also happening to have a very diverse cast or set of games, if you will, I think they nailed it more than anybody, and they've nailed it more than they've ever nailed it before. Xbox hasn't looked this good in June since the 360 days. Let's put it that way. If I had to give it a number score out of 10, ceiling probably 9.5, low ground probably 8.5. Like it's no lower than that for me. I think it was solid. I didn't see everything I wanted to see, but I saw enough to be more than damn satisfied that I have one of these machines, and more importantly that I have a Game Pass subscription. Now, you know me, guys. I'm constructive game critiques. Some of you seen my gamer tag. I don't care how you refer to me, what you call me, but you know that I am going to do my best to be objective and tell it to you straight. I'm not a grifter. I'm not here for the grift. I'm not making money off this. I want you to understand that this is my honest opinion based on what I've seen. I think that Xbox Game Showcase did about 3 or 4 things that were very important. Number one, it's going to make Sony better. I mean, if this doesn't, I don't know what the hell does, right? Because Sony has to know at this point that subpar doesn't cut it anymore. Taking breaks doesn't cut anymore. It's like if you're familiar with basketball, you can no longer sit Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker when you're going up against the Heat. Like, these dudes are ready. You got to play your best players. No rest nights. That might be a way off base basketball reference, but go back 10 years, you'll get it, sort of. They got to show something before the end of this year. I don't think the PS5 is going to be enough. I think telling people that you want them to give you $600 to $700 for a brand new machine, when apparently half of your player base hasn't even moved on to the current $500 machine, it's kind of going to be a slap in the face. Especially when, I thought they were kind of turning the corner with the PlayStation VR 2, I guess, adaptation to PC. And then only to find out that, oh, yeah, well, we want about the same amount of money for it, but all of the bells and whistles, this little box isn't going to let you do that. Which is, I think, something they're doing to force people to get a PS5 to play PSVR 2 there. And that right there, along with a couple other things that happened during Sony's little smaller showcase, I think last week sometime, leans into a little comment that Phil Spencer made. And there were a couple other things that happened that definitely make that so. But we'll get into that in a second, because I want to kind of break down the Xbox game showcase first, because that was the biggest one. That was, and honestly, the most impactful one. That was the one that gave us the best future implications of what's to come. Everything they showed, damn near, was at the very least intriguing. Right? There was I think it was called Expedition 33. It's an amazing looking, I believe, Western turn-based RPG that had rhythm-based attacks. I guess real-time, active time battle style dodges and attacks. Looked very cool. Can't wait to see that. That's coming in Game Pass. New Doom was the first thing they showed outside of Call of Duty. New Call of Duty looks freaking incredible. Probably going to suck at it like I have the last few, but the whole movement, the action movie movement, I think it's called Omni Movement, incredible stuff. Can't believe nobody's thought of that before in first-person shooters. I think Max Payne always kind of had something like that, but now we're going to have it in first person. And I think it's something that not only future Call of Duties adapt, but I think a lot of other competitive shooters are going to need to adapt, because at this point, no game is going to have movement like Call of Duty. The automatic like jumping over wall options, and dude, that game's movements, you're going to see some highlights from that game. Okay, that game's going to be a highlight reel. Competitively, like high level play in that game is going to be sick, I think. Still no word if skill based matchmaking is in there, but I mean, as much as people hate it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The game still sells, and I believe it was number 1 on the Steam charts like shortly after they showed it. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But we'll see. I think XDefiant may have been able to push Activision and Xbox, more importantly, into saying that maybe we should have at least a playlist that doesn't have all of that, algorithm that forces you to play the game a certain way stuff in there. But with the time to tell on that. Fable. Once again, a small comedic office style sketch, introducing us to a character named Humphrey. Looks like they did some modeling on the main character's face, if she is the main character and not just a stand-in. It still hasn't been confirmed yet. But looks incredible. They showed more gameplay. If that game looks like that, dude, I mean, damn. Gears of War, E-Day, I think just to quiet some of the louder than usual noise about Kate Diaz and, all the other new kids that are like the new Gears bunch or whatever, going back to young Marcus and bringing back, fan favorite Dom in this way is going to be very impactful. If they can kind of spark the same kind of feelings with the multiplayer and how it plays, I do believe that we can say that Gears will be back. Doom Dark Ages just looks like a fucking, it looks like something out of a kid in the 80s high school notebook. Mind you, I wasn't even in high school in the 80s, but it's like fire breathing dragons, shields with blades on them, big ass shotguns. I saw him swing a mace at a demon, hit him in the chest. Like, that game is going to be metal as hell, and I am here for it. That game's gonna be incredible. I don't know if they got God, what's the guy's name? He did Killer Instinct in the first two Dooms. I don't know if they got him back for the soundtrack. Last I heard, there was some kind of conflict between him and Bethesda when it came to payment. But I mean, if they got him back with the action that they had going on in that game, oh my God, that game looks absolutely incredible. Perfect Dark. Wow. I mean, we heard that this game was having all kinds of tumultuous issues, and what we ended up getting, at least in that small demo, was Mirror's Edge 2 with guns, or more guns. I don't know if Mirror's Edge 2 had guns. I know Mirror's Edge 1 did, but like, this looks great. And I think the only question I have about some of these games, and this is a legit question, and it's not so much a worry, but a question. Traditionally, Doom, Perfect Dark, Fable all had some kind of multiplayer. Now, Fable being exempt from this list because, like State of Decay 3, which is obviously going to have some kind of multiplayer, Fable did have, at the very most, 2-player co-op. Maybe Playground says we want to just get the single-player stuff down first. But in the case of Perfect Dark and Doom, now I know Doom had some kind of asynchronous multiplayer the last outing in Eternal, where the one player would play as the Doomslayer and the other players would play as the monsters. I'm wondering if they're going to do the same approach with this Doom Dark Ages, or if they're going to bother with multiplayer at all. And in the case of Perfect Dark, are you making just a great single-player narrative first-person shooter, or are you going to go back to its roots and have some kind of multiplayer? I almost said split screen. I don't think they could do split screen and have the same performance with a game that looks like that. But are you going to have some kind of multiplayer in this Perfect Dark? Because traditionally, the only 2 console games, because there was a Game Boy game, but the only 2 console games that have been, in this series have had multiplayer. And I think maybe the question might be with that, well, do you need multiplayer? Do you need another multiplayer shooter when you are selling Call of Duty as a company? Like, do you need to send that game out there to die to another one of your own products? Maybe the safe and the smart bet is just making it a single-player narrative-based shooter with a lot of great gameplay mechanics. At best, maybe co-op. Maybe. But I think what we'll find is that a lot of the shooter IPs under Microsoft probably won't get the multiplayer rub as much because they sell Overwatch and Call of Duty. Like, for them, maybe it's what's the point, unless it's co-op. What's really the point? And I get that. It kind of makes me sad, but I get that. State of Decay 3. Like Gears, like Fable, we've been told that those are in-game assets, in-game implications of what the gameplay look like. And after playing Hellblade 2 myself, I am inclined to believe that an Xbox game can look like that. They have shown me. I played this Hellblade game on a 70-inch TV that I own. And my God, is it beautiful. It is the uncanny valley. Say what you want about the gameplay. It looks like that. Like, that game is graphically stunning. So if the same team that helped Ninja Theory make that game look like that is making Gears and helping the State of Decay team, and from what I understand, also helping Playground make Fable, I'm willing to bet that all of those games are actually going to look like that. How they play is a whole nother mystery altogether, right? But I think graphically we can say it's a safe bet they'll look, at the very least, very close to that, if not exactly like that, because Hellblade sure does. Hellblade looks just like, as promised, actually looks better than the original time we saw it. But I don't want to go into Hellblade because it wasn't the show. But damn, is that game beautiful. there were a lot of things said by a lot of different people after this show happened. Of course, you had your weird ass fanboys and recent converts. I don't want to throw shots, but all of a sudden saying, "Oh well, it wasn't that good of a show. How can you be excited for a show that the games are going to come out on PlayStation?" And I want to address this subject because Phil Spencer had an interview, I believe Monday, where he talked about how they put the showcase together, and he kind of mentioned something on the slide, but a lot of people called it, especially the people who were looking for anything negative to say about it, to kind of dampen the mood on the impact of the showcase. And he said, our games are going to show up on more consoles or more platforms. If you guys have been paying attention to my channel, you already know how I feel about this. I don't give a shit. I don't care. The idea that I would just all of a sudden say, you know what, that 1,200 games, and I'm not BSing you, 1,200 games that I have in my library, I am just going to abandon because Xbox has decided they want to put their games on other platforms. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I don't care if you don't own 1,200 games on Xbox. To say that you've traded in, sold, or gotten rid of your Xbox and then abandoning your Xbox library because they decide to put their games on other platforms is fucking stupid. Right? And I'm about to go in on these idiots. So, thank God this isn't going to be monetized. If you already have an Xbox and you have Game Pass, you're going to get these games for the price of Game Pass. And let me be very particular when I say the price, because if you know what you're doing, like I do, you don't even pay for that shit. I haven't paid for Game Pass since I put $1 down on it in 2017. And then I got to put another $3 down to turn it into Ultimate. I haven't paid for it because if you manipulate the rewards program right, the money just keeps coming in and you just keep throwing it toward Game Pass. And then if you really like a game on Game Pass, surprise, surprise, because you're not paying for the fucking subscription every week or every month, you can just spend that money to get the game that you really like that's on Game Pass at a discount. So just in case, for whatever reason, your Game Pass money runs out, you can still fucking do that. You can still fucking play the game. There are idiots, and I kind of feel like I'm insulting idiots when I say that. There are idiots who really believe that because the games may come on PlayStation, or if they do, I don't give a shit, that will come on PlayStation, that's the better choice. First of all, even if the PS5 Pro is real, you're talking about $600-$700. When 2 years from the time it releases, if it comes out this year, it will be irrelevant because we'll be looking at next-gen consoles. Not to mention the fact that thing ain't gonna sell. So how much is Sony gonna support it? And if Sony does bring it out, Sony's already said they really don't want Microsoft having the plans to their console. So what better version of any Xbox games are you gonna be playing on that machine? If Microsoft can't even fucking get their hands on the hardware to see what it can do for their developers, what better version of these games are you getting? Sometimes you could be playing the PS5 base version of these games, to me, with an overpriced piece of plastic. Right? And then also, if you want to give Microsoft $70 for something, when even right now at this moment when I'm filming this video, you can pay them $1 to get on Game Pass Ultimate. If you want to pay them $70 for Call of Duty this fall, be my guest, you moron. You're a moron. If you want to pay $70 for a game that they've already announced is going to require an online connection for you to play it, and don't be surprised if that's a thing going forward. If your dumbass wants to give them $70 for that because of your PlayStation loyalty and your loyalty to a box, be my guest, idiot. Thank you for funding the next big Xbox game with your hard-earned $70. I'll be playing it for the price of free. and on your dime more than likely. Just like all the other exclusives that come in the Game Pass. And I'll pick and choose with my money which ones I want to actually buy to keep. Because I'll get it on PC and Xbox when I buy it. That's the difference. Don't let these dudes like push you off your square when it comes to shit. There's nothing wrong with being a Game Pass member. I'm sick of dumbasses worrying about counting people's pockets, talking about, oh, you must be broke if you're an Xbox gamer. No. I guarantee you these motherfuckers don't have as many games on these digital platforms as I do. And I'm getting saucy with it. One of them hears this video, they more than welcome to come and measure their library against mine. I guarantee you don't have as many PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam games as I do. I guarantee you don't. Most people can't fuck with me when it comes to that. And I'm not even bragging about it. But as a person who is high on the idea of Game Pass and loves what Game Pass does for people who can't necessarily do what I can do and get games and find a bunch of games at a discount, stuff like that, I dare you to try and compare your library to mine. Not my achievements, because you probably got more achievements than me. You probably have more time to play games than me, right? We talking about the library, the pure number of games I have. Since a lot of you clowns just gonna hear me say this, oh, he's broke, or he's a welfare gamer who loves Game Pass. Okay, talk your shit. Compare the amount of games you own to the amount of games I own. I guarantee you I'm gonna fucking embarrass you. I just told you 1,200 on Xbox. Guess what my PlayStation numbers are? Guess what my Steam numbers are? I'm going to fucking embarrass you. Right? And I don't go broke doing it. All my bills are paid. And I'm not rich. I'm not sitting here saying anything like that. I'm not trying to stone you. But what I am letting you know is just because a motherfucker takes advantage of a deal that corporations rarely give out, right? Just because I'm taking advantage of a deal doesn't mean you get to say or have a comment about how I spend my money and how my pockets work. Worry about your own damn pockets. Because until Sony was trying to charge y'all $60 for the PS4 version and then another $70 for the PS5 version of Horizon Forbidden West, y'all motherfuckers was fine bending over, greasing your asses up, and letting Sony slide in. God, this thing's gonna get flagged. But I'm getting pretty damn sick and tired of clowns who recently switched sides, of clowns who have always stood on this pedestal of Xbox Game Pass is bad. How? Please explain to me how. They didn't say you can't buy games anymore. They don't have games that are only locked on Game Pass. How is it bad? And you're bragging about having to pay for the game, $70 for the game a year later. Wow. Congratulations, you're a fucking idiot. Only an idiot takes that deal. That deal is about as dumb as Sony thinking that they're going to convince PC players to spend $500 on the PS5 and then another $70 on the game because they played the game in the series before. That shit's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's delusional. Phil Spencer and Xbox knows this. Satya Nadella knows this. Satya Nadella knows, look, people ain't buying Xboxes like that. The few that do, we taking care of them. But the ones that don't, okay, give me $70. You can play my game. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to make money off you one way or the other. Y'all want to talk all this shit about the console war stuff and, oh, you don't have exclusive games. Nobody has exclusive games anymore. Sony's about to have a fucking launcher on PC. What you think that means? Let's not even talk about Nintendo. People just bootleg their shit. There's a $40 hard drive on Amazon right now with like 7 Switch games on it, 7 good ones. Along with 38,000 classic games. I'm not snitching. I'm just telling you the truth. You can go on Amazon right now and buy like 6, 7 different hard drives that got Switch games on it. You got a decent PC to run them. If Sony's making a launcher for PC, who cares about exclusivity? Exclusivity is gone. It's dead. It's booked. And it's stupid any fucking way. But you clowns want to keep pushing this narrative. Meanwhile, Sony's publishing a fucking Horizon game on the Switch. Of all places. So, that brings me back, and I think I'm gonna cut this video shorter than usual, but I just want to get these bars off because I feel really passionate about this, and I'm seeing a lot of clowning and tomfoolery, and I'm doing my best to be constructive, as the namesake says, but it's really tough when you're dealing with people that are intellectually midgets. Jesus, small people, forgive me, small people community. But I have to say that Phil Spencer made a statement while he kind of like shyly got off that bar that you will see their games appear on more platforms. He pretty much said, I'm not trying to do any slimy stuff to make you play games on my platform. And I think they really understand it now. When everybody took this approach that he's defeated, when he pretty much said we can make a 10 out of 10 generational game and it's not going to make people buy more Xboxes than they do PlayStations. And he was right. He was right. And I think Satya Nadella and him sat down and talked about it. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I was like, dude, why don't we just make money off these motherfuckers any way we can? That's the plan. That's the plot. You motherfuckers that are judging them about doing that, you lost the plot. You dudes who was big Xbox fanatics and now you done switch sides because you think that shit makes everything better, you lost the plot. Congratulations, you played yourself. The plot is this. I'm going to make money off of everybody. If that means letting them play the games through a subscription service, fine. If that means selling it to them on another piece of plastic, fine. But I'm going to make money off everybody. I don't care where you play it as long as you give me money. Because that's going to work. You have all of these dudes who've been down on Xbox. They got 1,000,001 videos talking about how bad Starfield is. They got 1,000,001 videos talking about, how could they close down Telltale Gameworks even though most of their games never made any fucking money. You like Evil Within 1 and 2, great. They didn't sell. Right? Let's just be real about that. All of this shit talking to all of these dudes had about Xbox. And every one of them got a video out there where Xbox showed one game and all of a sudden they were like, Xbox is back. Because that's all it takes. The average whiny ass modern gamer, the average, I want things the way I want them because I want them. All of these fucking customers, these motherfuckers ain't sellers, they're customers. They're easily manipulated. They're easily guided. All it takes is one simple thing and they turn cold. They're all fickle minds and brittle spirits. Easily broken. As King David says, mustard hearts. Nothing is serious or real about any of these dudes. And they get thousands of views and get paid to say bullshit. And it's all cap. It's all cap. They say what's popular. They say what's going to get them money. They say what's going to get them clicks and engagement. These weirdos don't even believe in most of the stuff they say. They just saying shit because they can say it like a parrot sitting on a pirate's shoulder or something. It's trick to get crackers. Right? It's nothing serious. What Xbox just showed you is that we can easily do something to shut up the rabble. To get these dudes to shut the fuck up, to get these dudes to smile. And then some of them still didn't want to break. They still acting tough about it. It was a 7 out of 10 show, 6 out of 10. But when them Xbox games come out on PlayStation, you going to get a motherfucker $70 to play it, ain't you, dumbass? Because Game Pass is $1 right now. You either you capping and you already got Game Pass, or your dumbass going to give them $70 to play that shit. Or you going to spend your hard-earned reward points on fucking that you got from Rise of the Ronin and Stellar Blade or whatever whack ass press square a billion times they hit triangle to finish game on PlayStation. You gonna get in the rewards money from them whack ass games you beat in the weekend to buy Doom, ain't you? That's Xbox's money. Sony gets 30%, Microsoft gets 70%. Thanks. You just pay for another exclusive that you're gonna have to wait a year or two to get. That's what the game is. Yeah, you'll get it, Indiana Jones. Yeah, you'll get it. You get it in a year. You all will probably get Starfield this Christmas. Congratulations, because you ain't got shit else. I really doubt you 30 and 40-year-old dudes that love PlayStation are, just chomping at the bit to play a Lego game. Don't tell me that, right? The Astrobot game I get, even then, it's like it's kiddie platform, but it's a good looking one. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I like platformers, but it's made for kids, and you're 40. But you got that, but you need something like a Starfield, and Microsoft gonna sell it to you. Give them $70. Next year when Ghost of Tsushima 2 doesn't come out and Wolverine doesn't come out, they'll slide Indiana Jones your way for $70. Meanwhile, over on Xbox or PC, because it's probably what I'm going to be playing on, I beat it for the price of nothing. Because I paid for Game Pass years ago, and because of the rewards program, I haven't paid for it since. Thanks for funding my hobby. We appreciate you. The same dudes that's talking shit like this, the same ones who help pay for Epic to give out free games every month because they buy Fortnite skins. That's what Epic can do. That Epic can give you free games every month because 2,000 or 3,000 motherfuckers buy Fortnite skins that pop at $15 each. Microsoft is literally adopting that strategy. And what did I tell you when this Activision acquisition went through? I said that this is going to make Xbox undeniable. They're going to be everywhere. This is the logic. I'm going to try to give you one more little bit of logic, and then I'm going to leave you with this. 2 years ago, Microsoft bought Bethesda, which was probably like top 10. I can't tell you exactly where they placed, but probably top 10 third-party publisher in the world. Last year in October, on the 13th, Friday, 2023, they bought Activision for a cool $70 billion. They were arguably the number 1 or 2 publisher in the world. Maybe Rockstar's number 1, but Rockstar really only makes that off one franchise over a 5 or 6 year period, and then they kind of swap it with another. But I would say Activision was probably the biggest between World of Warcraft, Candy Crush, and of course Call of Duty and Overwatch. Microsoft bought probably number 1, and let's say Bethesda, theoretically speaking, is like number 8 or 9 at the time, third-party studios in the world. Of course, they're a third-party studio. Now, they bought the 2 biggest third-party studios in the world. Legally, a lot of the stuff they're doing, and this is what you small brains, you smooth brains haven't thought about. Legally, they're obligated to do this. They told a federal judge, yeah, we're going to put Call of Duty on PlayStation. Yeah, we're going to put Call of Duty on Switch. And just to get the FTC, who is currently still probing them, let's not forget that, at least last I checked, just to keep the FTC off their ass, it was like, yeah, put a Sea of Thieves on there. And, a year we'll put Starfield on there. Yeah, go ahead. Because it's no skin off their balls to sell it to motherfuckers who refuse to buy an Xbox or get a subscription on their PC or stream it. It's no skin off their balls to sell you that game for $70, especially when you're willing to do it. And if I remember correctly, you guys were buying more pre-orders of Sea of Thieves than you were Stellar Blade or Rise of Ronin. So what are we talking about? That game was doing better in pre-orders than those 2 big PlayStation exclusives you got this year so far. 7-year-old Xbox One game outselling new Square 4 times Triangle to Finish game that y'all, 2 of them. I mean, what the hell, right? It was outselling them. How is that? I wonder how much money Stellar Blade made for PlayStation. I wonder how much money that publisher got off that. I wonder how well Team Ninja is doing off of Rise of Ronin. That's exclusive. Did they make money off that game? Did that game sell really well? I mean, because it launched very close to Stellar Blade, right? Like, fans choose, right? Stellar Blade was a multi-platform game, but I wonder. I want to see that. I want to see those numbers actually. I wonder. And don't get me wrong, I'm not down on PlayStation. Again, I think that this, again, you be like, yeah, right. But I want to believe that this showcase made Sony understand that the next time they pop out in public, they gotta come with it, because mediocre ain't good enough no more. These motherfuckers is not playing. I hope they got the message. And I'm not trying to dog out PlayStation. I'm really dogging out these PlayStation fanboys, because like, you bragging about having to spend full price on a game that motherfuckers already gonna beat them beat. I don't get it. Where's the dub for you? Where's the dub for you? Like, if you bind it on the base PS5 or PS5 Pro, because Sony hasn't given Microsoft any PS5 Pro development kits, more than likely. So if you're playing it on a PS5 or a PS5 Pro, you're getting the same fucking game. What are you bragging about? Now, PC dudes can brag about getting your games because them motherfuckers Ghost from Call of Duty Modern Warfare in Days Gone. Matter of fact, Days Gone on PC looks way better than it did on PlayStation. As far as like the mods and stuff people are doing, it's way better. Y'all ain't gonna never get that shit. Matter of fact, y'all can get Starfield on PlayStation, right? On PC, I believe the mod limit is unlimited. On Xbox, the mod limit for Starfield is actually 100 gigs. Motherfuckers run around as Batman, shooting space pirates. On PlayStation, you probably ain't getting no mods that aren't made out of assets in the actual game, just like Skyrim and Fallout 4 before. So good luck with that. Wake up, people. Stop listening to these grifters. Play games where you want to play them. The console war shit is over. It's dumb. It's dead. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. Enjoy games. Stop listening to idiots who only want to fight over plastic boxes. These motherfuckers are grown ass men who don't have anything else to do. I've said it a million times before, said it a million times again. I'm not gonna be nice about it anymore. Because a lot of these dudes literally just folded, like balled up homework on the internet as soon as Microsoft popped off with that showcase. The proof's out there. Looking for Tinga's videos. Oh no, it's Alex. Them dudes, they stay on their ass. They stay on anybody's ass when they don't clown shit. Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, PC, don't matter. But as per usual, unfortunately, the PlayStation guys, they are, and no offense to this man, I respect him a lot, but they are quite literally the JaVale McGee for Tanga Alex's Shaq and the Fool. Front and center, the star, the leading men and women of their shit. They live there, they stay there, they have a house there. That's where they live. Clown Town. At any rate, God bless. Have a great day. Enjoy games. And we'll see you in the next one.